All right, some breaking news also coming in on Davos now. And we just heard our editors talking about how Trump is going to be at the World Economic Forum. But now it is emerged that the Iranian foreign minister will not be attending Davos. Although he was invited last fall, the tragic loss of lives of civilians in Iran over the past week means that it is not right for the Iranian government to be represented at Davos this year. Now that statement coming in, from who Davos has cancelled Iran's participation. So no Iran at the World Economic Forum. And just as well as you just heard there, you're going to have Donald Trump at Davos in Switzerland. He is leading one of the largest American contingents to ever come to Davos. And yes, the World Economic Forum, they're confirming that no Iran at the World Economic Forum. He will not be in Davos. The foreign minister will not be in Davos. Remember, this comes at a time of heightened tensions between the United States and Iran. There have been protests in Iran with Donald Trump, in fact, encouraging those protests, also saying that there needs to be a change in the leadership in Iran. So given all those developments, the World Economic Forum perhaps deciding it is not the time to have the Iranian foreign minister at this summit. Remember, it is a key summit attended by world leaders, business leaders, lots of analysts, businessmen, as we said, all are going to be there, the media as well. Let me go across to Vishnu Shom, who joins us from Davos. And Vishnu, you brought us that news that Iran will not be at Davos, no Iranian foreign minister at Davos.
Well, it's breaking news coming from the World Economic Forum here in Davos, where in just a few minutes back, the World Economic Forum announced that the Iranian foreign minister will not be attending Davos. And I'm just quoting from what they've tweeted out. They've said, although he was invited last fall, the tragic loss of lives of civilians in Iran over the past few weeks means that it is not right for the Iranian government to be represented at Davos this year. So there will be no Iranian government representation at the World Economic Forum, a forum which features 65 heads of state, the biggest World Economic Forum that has been had in decades perhaps. But this also sets the stage, I should suggest, for Wednesday. That's when the US President Donald Trump will be here. You can count on him saying something on Iran and the situation there, and certainly about Greenland, possibly Venezuela as well. But the fact that the World Economic Forum has done this independently, is a very strong statement to Iran that they are being watched and the loss of lives is unacceptable. They don't want the participation of Iran, one of the largest countries in the world, in this global event, the World Economic Forum.
Right, Vishnu, absolutely. That's the breaking news we're getting at this point of time, that the Iranian foreign minister will not be attending the Davos summit this year because of the massive protests that have been taking place in the country. Vishnu, if you're still here with us, what kind of messaging does it send across to the world? Because we do know that the US President Donald Trump will be attending the Davos World Summit in few days from now. But with the Iranian foreign minister's absence and more than 2,000 Iranians being killed there in Iran, the kind of messaging that this sends across to the world, Vishnu.
This is very, very strong messaging, and remember, as you mentioned, and as we've been discussing for the last couple of days, the US President Donald Trump is going to be over here along with a huge American delegation, which includes the American Secretary of State. But the fact that the Iranian Foreign Minister, Mr. Arangchi, who was invited to speak over here a few months back, the fact that his permission to speak over here has been rescinded is a very strong statement coming from the World Economic Forum. Whether this was done independently by the World Economic Forum or whether it was because several international leaders at this juncture didn't want to be seen near the Iranian government or their representatives, given the human rights catastrophe unfolding in Tehran, in Mashhad and in other parts of the country, is something we will have to find out. But the Iranian government, the foreign minister, Mr. Arangchi, has been denied permission to speak over here. He was expected to speak over here. It's a very, very strong statement at a time when we are seeing unprecedented revolts in Iran. Some would say it's the beginning of a revolution, one that might result in a change of the regime of the Ayatollah Khamenei over there. But whether that's going to happen now or later or in the future, no one really knows. But this is a huge statement being sent from Davos in Switzerland.